The day is Sunday, January 11th, 2026. The first book of the year that I'm reading is from Mary Kondo. It's called Letter from Japan, and it was published in November 2025, so just 2 months ago. Um, and she co-wrote it with Mary Iida or Iida. Um, I didn't know that both of them. So if you haven't watched the Netflix show is called Tidying Up with Mary Kondo, and it came out in 2018, which was like a decade before her first book was released called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. So she was really famous about like making your home organized or helping people organize their homes um, in the United States. So this book is dedicated to all who seek beauty in the everyday, which I think is perfect for this account because this account I used to post every day on. And it's really just for me to track beauty and youth, I guess, um, before it fades away because of age and time. So the contents of the book, it's divided between how many chapters are there? Between 6 chapters, and there's around 300 pages. The first chapter is called Cherish. Second chapter is called Perfect. Third chapter is called Consider, and then chapter 4 is Savor. Savor? Like umami savor. Chapter 5 is Purify, and then chapter 6 is Harmonize. And then there's an afterword and note from the co-writer, and then a bibliography and references. I think the word for this year is harmony, so it's interesting that I picked this book up. For me, the word for me is harmony. I know the world currently is not in a harmonious state, but for me, the world, the word that I would like to depict or manifest for 2026 would be harmony. And it's interesting that I picked this book up from the New York Public Library. Shout out, I got a new card because I lost my last card and I had to renew it because the other one expired. Oh, and it's a lion. I'm a Leo. Um, it's so interesting that I picked the word harmony, and then one of the chapters, the last chapter on this book, is called Harmonize. That was before I even picked this book up. So, it's a sign for me to read this. It's also so cool because the cover has this like gold foil on it on the mountains. But yeah, it's called Letter from Japan, and I'll be talking about this book throughout every day. I read the introduction, or the foreword. No, the introduction. So it's basically like explaining her life in Japan and how it influenced her tidying up and how she wants her space to look and what sparks joy for her. A little fun fact about Mary Kondo. So she wanted to spark the world through the joy of tidying. And then in the show, if you haven't watched the show on Netflix, which I actually just watched it this morning for the first time ever. I mean, I've seen clips of it online, but the show basically revolves around the KonMari method. So what that means is like you tidy up in 5 categories, and it's in a specific order. So first is clothing, then books, then paper, then kimono, which is like miscellaneous. So it's like kitchen, bathroom, garage. And then lastly, mental items. So like sentimental values to round it out. Um, and then basically on the show, she would just visit like American homes and basically just like help them with all the clutter like in their household. Um, which I don't think I would ever do that like on a show. I think that's very private and people are too judgmental, but that's the thing. Mary Kondo goes into your house and she's not judgmental and she's very compassionate and she truly helps all the families to be more organized and have a tidier homes. Um, but yeah, if once you watch the show, basically she starts it by greeting the house. So she closes her eyes in almost like a meditative state, and then she thanks the house for protecting the people in it and stuff like that, which is honestly very grounding. And I don't think a lot of people, especially in America, do that because we're all very like consumerist and we tend to steer away from like almost like spiritual association with all of the objects around us. So it was very interesting when she almost went into a meditative state and the families weren't expecting that. So it was like, ooh, what is this? Like there's almost like an art to her science, and that was her art. Um and but yeah, she was very professional, non-judgmental, and she actually means what she says. And the show ends with obviously the house being tighter than when she first saw it or when she first met like meets the family. Um, I don't think I'll be watching the rest of the show though. I think one episode was enough, so I saw episode one, and that's enough for me. But I will finish the book though because I am interested in Japanese literature as well as Japanese culture this year, especially because a lot of Japanese influences or Japanese theories or philosophies revolve around the idea of harmony, like even with the way they um, curate and take care of their gardens. Everything, it's in harmony with nature and with the natural world. And I think that's my main philosophy, not just for this year, but throughout the rest of my life. It's like another form of transcendentalism, but more, I guess, like not westernized. I don't know how to explain it, and that's probably like wrong, but yeah, I'll be reading A Letter from Japan by Mary Kondo with Mary Iida. So I know it's like book talk, and everyone on book talk usually reads like something spicy or like smutty, which is fine if that's what you like. But currently, I'm not in that mood. I think I'm in a like early year or beginning, like want to get my life together, level set mood for before the year starts. Oh, and this is due back to the library on the 24th of January. So it's the 11th today, which means I do have to make a dent on it and have to read it like seriously before it's due back to the library. I do follow the library rules and deadlines. So I'll be reading it, and I hope you guys tune in. Thank you.